Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be the second update of my blush project, and this is one of my favorite projects of the year. And these I came up with the idea about 2 months ago, and I decided that I should do this because I own an insane amount of blushes and there's no way for me to go through them. And some of them, even though I've had them for a while since I was collecting them, I didn't even choose them with the thought in mind to use them up, just because I wanted to collect them. So I want to get to know my blush collection. I want to get to know which blushes just tickle everything inside of me. So I want to keep showing you the blushes this year, and I want to keep doing this blush project for the year. So if you want to see the blushes that I reached my goal on, and you want to see the new ones that I've picked up and the ones that I'm still trying to reach my goal, and how these perform and whatnot, which are my favorites and which I see myself using up and whatnot, anything you want to see about blushes on this video, then just keep on watching. Okay, so for the first batch of blushes that I put on this project, I was owing you guys two that I didn't reach my goal on my first update, and those were Courbattant and Almeria. I hit my goal on Courbattant, which was the one that I thought I wasn't gonna be reaching my goal on as quickly, and then Almeria I completely forgot about it, so I wasn't even picking it up. On that one I have 3 uses. On this one I already reached my 4 uses goal. These NARS blushes are highly pigmented, and they're just so beautiful to work with. I just know that I wouldn't pick this type of bright color on the NARS formula again because I'm already set with bright. I think I would like to pick up Exhibit A because mine, I think when I repressed it, it broke on me, and when I repressed it, I ruined it. And that one will work for any skin tone without too much work, but this one is more of a softer formula, so it's harder to work with. I know they sell it, so if you have a deeper skin tone, this is so beautiful on the skin. It's just that for me and my personal use, it's just too much too soon. It's too pigmented for me. Oh no, the one that I needed my 4th use was Seduction, not Almeria, but those are too similar. So Seduction, I haven't reached my goal. I need to use it one more time to just tackle it from my list. Okay, so for the 10 blushes that I picked out last time, I hit my goal on 7. And this one, I have to tell you guys, they felt super easy to hit my goal on. All of them. I love them all so much, and I can't wait to tell you more about them. I have here these 2 Tarte blushes, and these are minis. These were sent by a subscriber, so thank you Valerie for sending them. These rekindled my love for the Tarte formula of blushes. These are 2 nudes, and I realized that I'm obsessed with nudes, and that if I at some point had to declutter most of my collection of blushes, I would keep only the nudes and some of the light peachy shades, because those are the ones that I tend to reach for on an everyday basis. It doesn't matter if they're more beigey, more pinky, or more peachy. I prefer nudes and wearable shades for any type of eye look that I'm wearing. Super favorites of mine during this project, and I even put Harmony on my favorites of the year because I just fell in love with the formula back again. This is soft, smooth, it will last all day, and they have Party in a big size. I thought this was only limited to the gift that they were giving at Sephora for the birthday gift. No, this is permanent now in a full size, so if you love this shade, you can pick it up. I will leave every blush linked below. NARS Dolce Vita is another one, and this one I thought it was more like Seduction and Almeria, but this one is more of a nude that's a little bit deeper. You can see it right here, and it's one that I'm wearing today, but on top I'm wearing something else, so you won't be able to see it, but this is how it performs on the cheeks. It's a rosy tone, and it's not as dark as Almeria and Seduction, so I would highly recommend, if you like to look like you were running a natural flush, this is the natural flush that I think will look beautiful on light and medium skin tones. And it's easier to work with than those that are darker. You need to grab too little from them to get the look that you want. This one, you can just use it more freely. I have 3 more from NARS here that I'm crazy about. For me, the Final Cut collection from NARS is one of the best collections that they've released, and these blushes, these 2 blushes right here, are the reason why I think that was a great collection. Love has been a favorite of mine since I picked it up. I don't know why I stopped using products that are limited edition, and it's something that I want to change because I was using it like a crazy person when I first got it. I fell in love with it, and then I just put it in the drawer and started to try new things. This is the kind of shade that I would have hit pan by now if I kept using it and using it. This is so beautiful, a nudie shade. I wish they would come up with these shades back again. Even when you swatch it, being a NARS blush, it doesn't look pigmented right here. And on the cheeks, it's just the perfect pinky nude shade. You can see it right there. It's perfect. It's like that on the cheeks, and I just adore it. It was super easy for me to use that 4 times. And then New Attitude is more of a bubblegum pink, but it's beautiful because it has a little bit of warmth to it. Even though it's a cool tone, it has a little bit of warmth to it. You can see it right there, but it's not as bright on the cheeks. This is sort of what I think the Dior Rosy Glow blush, the statement blush that they have, will look on the cheeks. And I just think this is beautiful. This is again from the Final Cut collection. New Attitude was limited edition, but it's one of the most beautiful shades, and I think it's even more beautiful than the other one that I have here for the same project that I haven't reached my goal on. The NARS Gilda, I didn't find this on the NARS website. I didn't look for it as a single, but I know the ones that come in their own packaging, like this one was, because these I depotted. I can't find it anywhere. And this is one of my favorite blushes for my makeup artistry kit. When I pack it, this is the one that I use on almost every single person, unless they're too cool tone and this orange shade will look bad on them. But this is the most wearable shade of all time for me. This is just so easy to work with. It can work on a deeper skin tone and on a lighter skin tone with a light hand. And on a medium skin tone, it will work perfectly. It's pigmented, it's blendable. It's just the perfect nudie orange color because it's not super vibrant, it's not neon. If you have it in your collection, pull it back out, play with it. This is just stunning, and I would highly recommend it. And then last but not least, for the ones that I've reached my goal on, I have here Who's Your Puppy from Too Faced. This came in a palette. It was limited edition, the palette again. So this one is gonna be what I'm gonna use now that I don't have Orgasm and while I purchase Orgasm again. It's sort of a dupe. It's not exactly the same as Orgasm, but it's a nice dupe and it's a usable dupe. So I'm gonna try and use that one up since I've used Orgasm 3 times or 4 times, I think 3 times already. This is one that I will finish before repurchasing Orgasm. That's one of my favorite blush shades. And now I have 3 more that I haven't reached my goal, but that I know I will reach it soon. So the first one is this one. This is the Laura Mercier Matinee Blush, and this is from the Opening Night Cheek Palette. This is not the exact formula for the Laura Mercier blushes, but it's a beautiful jelly type of formula, and it's formula that keeps the concept of Laura Mercier of using blushes in a way that are just pigmented but not dreadful to work with. They're the easiest blushes in my collection that I have that I can work with, and they will never look over the top or extremely pigmented that they're hard to work with. I've used this one 2 times, but to be honest, I put the palette, I was organizing my desk and I put this palette back in the drawer. So that's the reason why I haven't used it, but I've used it twice so far on this project and I love it. I just find this to be so, so beautiful. NARS Desire, this one is a Barbie pink, and this is super cool tone, super blue tone, and these I've used 3 times, so only one more time and I will hit my goal on it, and I will do that tomorrow. That's gonna be something that I will do. I will create a look with this one in mind, and this is way more vibrant than the other one, the New Attitude for sure. This has a higher pigmentation, and that one, even though it's a bubblegum pink, it's more wearable and it's more everyday than Desire. Even though I can use it as an everyday blush, it's something that's way, way more vibrant. This would be this used to be an everyday shade for me, so that would tell you a lot about how makeup taste will change over the years, because now I don't wear that much pink. But the great thing about this update is that I fell back in love with pink blushes and that I can use them more and more, and now I know that I use them and it's not like I don't like them anymore like I used to think. It's that I wasn't just wearing them because I was so obsessed with peaches and nude blushes. But pink blushes are still a love of mine. Is the blushes that are not a love of mine is the highly dark and pigmented ones and the ones that look like I have wine on my cheeks. With that in mind, I have here the last one that I have only one use left to reach my goal. This is the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur. Again, this was a gift from Valady, and this one I was telling you guys about that I needed to try the formula because this is a different formula. So I've applied it with my finger and with a blush. It blends beautifully. With a finger, it looks so stunning. This is sort of a cream blush. You can see it right here. This is the wine shade that I've been talking to you guys about, but it's more on the light side. So this is more like Dolce Vita. It's just that it's a completely different formula. You can see it right there. So it looks highly pigmented, but when you blend it, this buffs into the skin like nothing, and it's super easy to work with. Now my hands look patchy and it looks like it's a crazy thing and you can't see the color. So it's this one right here. That's a strong swatch, but now that I blend it, you can see how it buffs into the skin. So you can even apply this blush with your fingers and it looks stunning on the cheeks. I would love to grab a nude from this formula. It's just that I'm not gonna because I need to work on my blushes this year. I want to finish about 5 blushes this year because I have a few that have gone and I need to put my mind into finishing them. This is one that I love so much and I love the formula, and it was so nice to discover a new formula. Okay, so now let's just roll in 10 blushes, and I know that I have 3 from this update and 1 from my last update that I still haven't reached my goal on, but I know that that will be easy, and I truly wanna hit my goal, my overall goal, which is to use each blush 4 times, and I don't want to declutter any of the blushes that I haven't reached my goal on. So I will just tell you the 10 that I have, and these, to be honest, I've used a couple times because I was already excited and wanted to use other blushes. So I will tell you about that, and you will see that it will sort of compensate the fact that I haven't reached my goal in the other 4 blushes, if that makes any sense. So the first one that I have here is one of the ones that I want to finish. So if I finish it within this month, that would be an amazing thing because I want to just lower my blush collection, or even have a rule of finishing 2 blushes to add 1 to my collection, because blushes are not a thing that I want to stop purchasing, but it's a product in which I want to make better decisions when it comes to buying them. So this is the Makeup Geek Summer Fling. I think these blushes are discontinued, but this formula was beautiful. My favorite one was Infatuation, and that one I finished completely. So this one is an orange blush. It's perfect for summer, but since I live in a place where we have summer all year round, you can see it right here. I will do close-ups, but you can see it right there. It's just a stunning blush, and the truth is that they're super powdery, so it wouldn't be a surprise if I finish it completely by the next update. I would just be happy if during the year I finish this one, but it's so beautiful and I really love it. Illamasqua Katie. This blush, I use one up completely. It was one of my true loves when I was so in love with pink, and this one, I purchased my first one when I was living in the US, but I was on vacation in California, in San Francisco, and I went into a Sephora. I saw it and I fell in love with it. It's a milky pink blush. It's just so stunning on the cheeks. This would be, like I said, my go-to. I would travel with it. If I would come to Colombia to visit, this would be the blush that I would carry with me. For me to have finished this blush is just crazy, and you can see it right there. It's that amount of pink. It's so light and such a nudie pink. And I used it already 1 time, and I can't wait to use it 4 times. It's just one of those blushes that is a treasure in my collection. Laura Geller Sun Swept Blush. This is one of those formulas that I've always wanted the entire range of colors. This one, it's bronzy and it's beautiful and it looks great with a fake tan. It's sort of like a bronzer type of blush, but this baked formula is just stunning on the cheeks, and I know that I would love the look on this one on my cheeks for sure. So this is gonna be an easy one for me to reach my goal. And these blushes that make me super excited to use, those are the blushes that I should have in my collection. I shouldn't have a crazy amount. I should have blushes that bring me this amount of joy. MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Rio. This is another one that when I bought it, I was just obsessed, crazy obsessed with it. And you can see it right there. It's a pinky with a hint of bronze, and I will show you the pan and you will see the close-up, but it's this one right here. You can barely see it, but it's just so stunning. I'm building it up right here. On the cheeks, it looks so beautiful because it's a dirty pink with a bronzy tone to it. So you can see it right here. This is so stunning, and when you put it on the side, I will place my brush in the middle so you can see that there's a dent in the middle of the pan, and I depotted this one. This is so wonderful. I at one point would love to finish this one. It was so beautiful. I wanted it so bad. I thought that I was gonna start collecting all the MSFs because of this one. I feel so hard and in love with it. MAC Mineralized Blush in Alpine Bronze. This is another one of my favorites, and this one was again limited edition. This was recommended at that time by It's Blondie, which is now Casey Holmes, and I just love this. I don't think that you can see the shade. It's this shade right there, and these mineralized blushes, they blend like a dream. And I love bronzy blushes. If I had to choose one product because of versatility, I would choose bronzer instead of blush. That's why I go through bronzers quicker than I go through any other product or color product in my collection. So Alpine Bronze will be an easy one to use, and it's one of those blushes that I would like to finish up. Even if it's limited edition, even if I would miss it, I would like to finish this one up because it's so beautiful, so easy to use, and it's so old in my collection that I just think that it's time for it to go, like the MAC Warm Soul one that I finished recently last year. I have here the Extra Dimension blush by MAC. This is Bareness, and I'm so in love with this blush. This, again, when I bought it, it took a beating. You can see here how deep the pan is, and this is the one that I have mixed with Dolce Vita today. I have it on top just to make that one even more nude because I changed my mind about the eye color that I wanted to use today. So this one I was just mixing with Dolce Vita just to create a different cheek, but I love these. I think this is one that I could finish. To tell you the truth, guys, I have a list of blushes that I would like to purchase. If you would like to see a wish list of the blushes that I would like to purchase, I can even do that as a separate video because I had a list since forever, and I can tell you the top 10 blushes that I would like in my collection. But for me to bring them in, I have to either declutter or finish a few blushes before that. I can't just bring a lot of blushes without any thought. I don't know if this is available, but this is a nude pink blush. It doesn't swatch as beautiful as it looks on the cheeks, but one of you guys told me that you wanted to see clips or pictures of me wearing these blushes, and I will see if I can get clips or pictures, but I will make sure to have at least one of the uses with the blushes on the screen for next time. This is an exciting one because this is one of my favorite blushes in my entire collection, and this is NARS Taj Mahal. When you see the swatch of this one, you will just lose your mind. That's how beautiful it is. The formula of this one reminds me a ton of Savage from NARS. It's a shimmering formula and it's highly pigmented. This is a burnt orange, but it's shimmering and it has gold shimmer into it. It's just perfection. I don't have or haven't seen a blush that looks this beautiful ever. I have other orange blushes that you will see in upcoming blush project editions, but nothing like this one. This is just crazy. The way it looks busted because it broke at some point and I repressed it, but it's just so stunning. I'm so happy to have this, and I wanted to put on this update a bold blush that I'm obsessed with. I can't wait to show you guys how I wear this on my cheeks on a few pictures or a picture. I'm obsessed with this blush. Laura Mercier Peach. This one, I had another one and I gave it to my sister-in-law Daniela. I love this. This is so beautiful and it's a true peach. I think it looks a lot like Matinee from the other palette that I showed you before. But this is so like, you can barely see it on my hand. It's the blush that I have right here. It's so stunning. It's one of those blushes from Laura Mercier that I would highly suggest you get. Those were in my favorites of last year. I just love this formula of blush. If you like any of the shades, I have almost all of them. If you like any of them, you need to go and pick them up because you will not regret it. They're easy to work with, they blend beautiful, and they are buildable. So if you want a higher pigment, they will give you a higher pigment. Lorac Prism Blush. This one I wanted for so long again. And it's a nudie type of color, but it has a hint of peach. And it's just beautiful. It's a pinky peachy shade, but it's a nude and I'm just obsessed with nude. I've just rediscovered my love for nude blushes instead of orange blushes, peach blushes. Nudes are my favorite. So yeah, this is just so beautiful, so wearable. I can't wait to try it. I don't know if this formula is still available, but this one is stunning. I have Technicolor and Prism, but Prism is my favorite. And then another one from NARS, I have Doozer by NARS. And this one, at some point, nobody could find it. But I saw it on the NARS website, so it's still available. It's just at Sephora, it's lowering the amount of NARS blush selection that they have. So if I can find the blushes, I will leave them linked below, whether they're on the NARS website or the Sephora website. On NARS, always, if you put your email, they will give you a 50% off welcome coupon. So you can even get them for 15% off. And they, if you want to buy them as singles, to put on a C palette, they also have them in singles to put in a C palette, and they would be even more affordable because these are not cheap, but these are blushes that will last you forever because I've had NARS blushes for 8 years and they still work the same. I haven't had one NARS blush going bad on me, and I finished a few of them, but they are just crazy beautiful and they have a huge shade range. And they have beautiful tones. Anything you want when it comes to shade range, NARS will give you. So Doozer is one of my favorites from them. It's just a beautiful nude, but it's more on the neutral side. It's cool tone, but it's not a pinky and it's not a peachy. It's more brownish, mauvey, but nude. And I'm in love with it. I need to use this one more. Okay, so I will have 14 blushes now in my rotation. And from the ones that I showed you, Makeup Geek Summer Fling, I've used it twice. Illamasqua Katie, I've used once. Laura Geller Sun Swept, I used once. MAC MSF Rio, I used once. MAC Alpine Bronze, I've used once. MAC Bernice, I've used twice. NARS Doozer, I've used once. And the rest I haven't used. But now you can see that it makes sense that I have 14 because what I was supposed to use on the other ones, I've used in these new ones. So you will see the other ones, I promise, out of the rotation, and we'll just keep working on the ones that I have. But that's it for the second update of my blush project. I hope you guys are enjoying this project. I'm obsessed with it. I adore blushes and I will keep doing this project until I finish using these blushes, and I will always give you guys a feedback on the formula of blushes that I'm using, on why I love them. I will talk about blushes more and more because blushes are my passion. If you love cheek products, you are my girl. You need to stay here because this is your channel. I love eyeshadows and I love eyeshadow formulas, but when I fall in love with an eyeshadow formula, I stay there. Like my Natasha Denona, my ABH. And even though I have other brands, I tend to just purchase the formulas that I adore because I adore them and I don't want to waste my money. But when it comes to cheek products, if I didn't have the amount that I already have and I didn't have a limited budget, I would buy so many blushes that I want to try out that you guys can't imagine. So maybe some of my budget for the channel that I've recently gotten, I'm gonna see if I can purchase a few cheek products to show you guys and so that we can have a lot of fun. So that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave something related to summer fling. So wish me luck so that I can finish summer fling before the next update. And that's it, you guys. I love you, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.